This portion of Bridge Street sponsored by LaserView of CNY.
You know, you hear a lot of options that are available for eye vision improvement using lasers and all sorts of stuff. Do you ever get confused by some of that? Well, I've got a person here, Dr. Leslie Woodcock Jr. from LaserView of CNY that will help clear up some of those things. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
The guy even brought his own eyeball with him here to show you some of the things. You know, first off, let's talk about LaserView. I mean, you see so many different options available to people. Why LaserView of CNY?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that because there are a lot of different options for vision correction in LASIK and PRK, epi-LASIK, things like this. A lot of different companies advertising, and it's good to clear that up. I'm glad you asked me that. To start, there's a form of laser vision correction that people used to have approximately 5-10 years ago and still do. It's called PRK or epi-LASIK. There are two different versions of that. All that means is it's a surface treatment done on top of your eye. With the model here, the laser goes directly onto the surface of the eye and reshapes your cornea based on your contact lens prescription or glasses. There's another procedure called LASIK, and that's when we actually make a flap of tissue, your own tissue. It's kind of like making a contact lens out of yourself, and then we lift up the flap, and then the laser reshapes your cornea underneath.
Sounds painful.
It's not painful at all. As what we do is with LASIK, there are two ways of doing LASIK. One is with a blade and one is without a blade, and I'll get to that towards the end of what we're talking about. But this is the eye model, and in the cornea, the blade or the laser makes the flap. And we lift up the flap, and then we line the laser up to your cornea very precisely and with some automated tracking features. The laser reshapes or flattens the cornea in most cases as per your glasses prescription or your contact lenses.
Basically what we're doing, and you've got it in your model here, not that I'm an optometrist, but it's all the focal point that's in your eye, and that's what the glasses adjust and make sure that that ends up on your retina. So with these different procedures you have done, just basically move that and adjust that so it's on the retina.
That's
basically.
correct.
So,
that's
so
right.
then you have clear vision. You know, where do you begin with this process? I mean, would you consult with your regular eye doctor? Would you go right into LaserView? What's the best way to look at these different options and see what might be best for you?
If you're considering getting a laser vision correction done, you should call the LaserView Center, and they will send you to a physician based on where you are in the area. And then you go from there. You usually see your doctor for about a 40-minute visit initially. And after that, we get you sent down to the Laser Center for some more advanced testing if you're a candidate. And then we can proceed with getting you booked for the surgery.
All right. Now, each of these different procedures have different healing times, correct?
That's correct.
So about how long now, if I've got horrible vision, when can I expect to have clear 20/20 vision?
It depends basically, without getting too technical, it depends on how much laser we have to put into your eye. However, with LASIK and intralaser, which we'll talk about towards the end, basically 90% of your healing is done overnight, which is why a lot of people wake up the next morning and they're just thrilled with their vision. They tell all their friends, and more people want to have it done. With the surface treatment, like I understand you had many years ago, usually takes around 2 weeks to heal to a level about 20/30, 20/40, which is slightly less than perfect. And over the course of another couple of weeks, you see wonderfully.
What is this intralaser that you keep bringing up and you want to talk a little bit about?
Intralaser is a wonderful new technology that we have in the United States and throughout the world, and it's a 100% blade-free procedure where the most important part of your surgery is made with a laser instead of a stainless steel blade. Its safety profile is unheard of, and it's more precise than regular LASIK is. Around 50% of our people that we're actually doing with intralaser are seeing about 20/15.
Wow.
Which is one line better than 20/20, so I often find myself talking to people in the exam lanes, and I tell them they can go fly jets for the Navy. Because the intralaser is the only method that the United States Air Force and NASA approve for its own pilots. And we're the only center in town that's doing that.
And just one more quick question. I know a lot of folks at home probably have. What about insurance? Does insurance cover these procedures?
Some insurances do. More and more insurances are starting to cover the procedure. It's kind of like mammography was in the past, whereas no one used to cover it, but now everybody covers it. It's probably moving in that direction. I don't think many insurances will cover the full cost, but they are starting to pay more and more, because then they can offer more plans to more people.
All right, wonderful. Dr. Leslie Woodcock from LaserView of CNY, thank you very much for coming in, clearing up some of the misconceptions here or some of the questions you may have dealing with laser surgery. Coming up, dealing with the loss of a loved one as we get into the holidays. That's coming up next.